That's like every night ends like at the Circle Bar in the Venetian. Like that's just every night. Like so, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So every night Circle Bar, and we are live. SHOT Show 2019. Good to have you guys here. Gun Talk Live, brought to you by Palmetto State Armory, and I've got my good friend Steve Lemonov from ATN here. Steve, before we get into the good stuff that's on the table, how many SHOT Shows have you been to?
I think this is my 11th or 12th one.
Oh, see, how did? There's no way that like I'm thinking, how come we haven't like our paths haven't crossed? Because I've been here about 14.
Right,
and
right.
Like you think, because this is
we
relatively.
we work together a lot,
Right.
And I don't know, we just never had the opportunity to come to the show live during the show. We're so bombarded at the booth.
Yeah.
There was so much traffic usually. I'm glad I was able to find some time to come here
You get
and
some
talk
time.
to you.
You get some time to breathe and
Yeah.
you kind of break out. And you know, ATN is one of those companies that continues to innovate in a
Yes.
field where there's not a lot of there's competition, but it's
There's a lot
not
of
like
competition, right.
but it's not like the AR competition where
Right.
there's hundreds and hundreds of companies out there competing.
Right.
But you guys have found a niche market, and you guys are producing some amazing products. But this year
Right.
is a whole new year for you guys.
Absolutely.
And we got this. One of the first prototypes, we
Right.
actually got this, and
Right.
so we were able to work with it. This is the Thor LT,
Right.
and we do have a real brief video that we kind of put together, and I'm going to have Michael go ahead and run that. So that video
Mm-hmm.
is amazing when you see how well it works.
Right.
And
you guys put in some good calibers, what, 308?
We put
300
it on
blackout, right?
Yep, we put it on 308, a 300. Because what the Thor LT does a really good job at is that it always works on no matter what we got. So I hope you guys can see the video. It's going to go live right now. And are we good?
You want a thermal scope that doesn't break the bank? Now you have it with the ATN Thor LT. A quality thermal scope is critical for a great night hunting experience. Whether it be hog hunting, predator hunting, or game recovery. The ATN Thor LT features one-shot zero, making sighting in faster while saving ammo. Hunt all night long with 10 hours of internal battery life. A streamlined design, much like your traditional rifle scope, allows the use of any 30mm rings for ultimate flexibility in mounting options. The ATN Thor LT features two color modes, white hot or black hot. Choose from multiple reticle patterns. The Thor LT is available in 3 to 6 power or 4 to 8 power magnification. For more information, go to atncore.com. A quality thermal optic at a great price. The ATN Thor LT.
Okay, the Thor LT, you got a good look at it there, but let's talk about,
Did you have
the
fun
best.
using it?
Yes, of course I had fun using it. I get to see, and I think Jace always states it. He always states it best, one of our editors. He says, we can exist in an environment that we're not meant to exist.
Right.
Because at nighttime, that's when the animals come out. That's when they thrive. That's
Right.
when they do the majority of their feeding. And their movement is greater in the day, especially in the summertime months.
Right.
And the only time you can get there and to a point where you can see is using thermal.
Right.
And the Thor LT, the best part about it is not that it has great picture quality or all the different reticles that you have and the two color modes or the battery life.
Right.
It's the price point of this thing. And so go ahead and break it to them how much it's going to set them back to get into the thermal game.
So we did everything we could to make this as affordable for the average person, if you could say that, to the average hunter. So the price point for the Thor LT is $1,200, which is really unprecedented. We are constantly innovating and breaking the price barrier, breaking the status quo.
Yes.
We're bringing every single year something new to the marketplace. We consider ourselves as the leader and innovator in our space, electro-optic space, and it's great to be with a company that constantly innovates. It's
Right.
so exciting. It's not boring. You have something new
No.
constantly. It's just so much fun.
Right. And the price point, and you look at it, on average, to get an optic of this quality,
Right.
you're looking at entering the game at $3,000, $4,000, and that's just like an entry point. But now you give guys an opportunity to get into the thermal game
Right.
at $1,200. And the obvious next step for these guys is going to be the Thor 4K Pro.
Right.
I mean, that's going to be their next step, and
Right.
they're gonna want to get into that. For you guys watching online, don't forget we are monitoring your comments. So if you have something you want to say or ask Steve from ATN, let us know. But the application when I was shooting this optic, and it's coming out in March. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because I know that's going to be the question that all the guys are going to want to ask. When is it coming out? And what I found is if it's coming out in March, guys are starting to look towards next season. And so if you're using it to monitor, which I thought was a great use of it too, because I'll just take it out and monitor with it, not even attached to a gun.
Right.
Which is another, thinking outside the box
Yeah,
on your gear.
I guess you could use it as a kind of a spotting scope, but it's so light. You can mount it on the crossbow, PCP air rifle, 300 blackout.
Yep.
Really any platform that will take 30 millimeter
30
rings.
millimeter rings.
Right.
And that's
so universal.
That's what's cool about it. And in that video, you saw us mounting it to the Ruger American
Right.
and an AR style platform. So the variety of like platforms that you can put this on.
Right.
And it's so lightweight. You mentioned that earlier.
Right.
It's so lightweight, and there's almost not there. We do have a comment from Dr. Bennett. He says, "Send me one for testing and review." Well, you're not getting mine. I'm going to tell you that right now because that's not going to happen because I don't want to send it back. But the guys deer hunting who want to monitor, to pattern deer early season, the best thing to do, man, take that off your gun. Monitor the fields with it after lights so you know when those deer are coming in and leaving.
You could do that, or we have the binoculars, right?
Exactly, and
Right.
that's what I was leading into
Right.
or what do we have new now?
Right. So the other new product that we're launching here today at this year's SHOT Show is our Byno X4K Pros and the Byno X4Ts, the thermal version of these. So these binoculars have been redesigned from the previous model.
Right.
So they're both day and night. They also incorporate a 1,000-yard laser rangefinder.
And that's something that a
Right.
lot of companies are starting to do is integrate a laser rangefinder with their optics.
Right.
But you guys are doing it
Differently, a
way
little bit.
different.
So we're also introducing our BIX technology, our ballistic information exchange, which basically is you can connect our binoculars to any of our smart HD scopes, so the Thor
Right.
4, the X-Sight 4K Pro, and feed that range that you acquire with the binoculars directly to the scope, and the scope will adjust the point of impact instantaneously.
Instant.
Instant.
So there's no guesswork.
There's
I
no
mean,
guesswork. So if you're like hunting, so somebody has with a rifle, somebody's a spotter, like a hunting party. Somebody notices or spots a deer or whatever animal you're hunting. You can send that information to the scope, so your buddy who is going to take the shot has already the correct information there. Doesn't have to have holdover or think about anything. Just see the game there and take the shot.
we have a couple questions. Warranty on them. What's that like?
On all our thermal products, we have a 3-year warranty.
Okay.
And it's a industry standard for thermal optics, so we're right there, just like everybody else.
Perfect. And then we have they are rechargeable. So
Yes.
So anytime, what I got into habit was after every hunt, I just stick it on the charger, and it didn't take that long. Typically, how long would you say a typical charge life?
With a 2-amp charger, it's about 4 to 6 hours. You could charge the battery completely. We recommend a little more, about 12, initially 12 hours initial charge, but subsequent charges, you know, the scopes will charge much faster. Also, you don't have to have it plugged in directly to, let's say, an AC outlet. If you have a power bank, you could charge the products right from a power bank that you would use to power your cell phone or laptop.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of too. Is that like when you're out at hunting camp and maybe you don't have a charger, those power banks will work just fine.
Absolutely.
And now on the Byno X, Bluetooth capable, right?
Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
Wi-Fi.
So you can actually record HD video on the Byno X and have the video streamed to a mobile device, like a tablet or phone, and you could see exactly on that smart device what the person who's operating the binoculars at the same time, and also record through the binoculars on an SD card.
That's the great thing about this. And we did have what's the range limit? I'm assuming Tango Chaser, you're meaning what options this is available in. A 3x6?
Yeah, so the magnification for the Thor LT, we have 2 versions right now, 3 to 6 and the 4 to 8.
Right.
The scope is really intended for closer range engagements, like maybe 100, 150 yards.
Right.
It is a very nice scope for entry-level thermal.
Oh, absolutely, it's perfect. And you know, before we were on the air, we were actually talking about the Byno X and the many uses you get out of it, and it's not, it's not just a hunting binocular.
No,
I mean, don't think of it that way.
Scouting, surveillance.
Yeah.
There's so many applications for binoculars that have so many features built into them and so many capabilities. You know, the trick is to learning your equipment. You know, we talked about that, right? You know, people get very excited. They buy product and they sometimes fail to look at the manual or kind of take the time to learn the product.
Right.
And they're really shooting themselves, short because, if you don't understand how the features, the capabilities of the product really work, you're spending all this money. Why not take full advantage of it, right?
Right. Don't cut yourself short. Don't cheat yourself, because there's so much intuitive technology, and we talk about you have to know your cell phone, you have to know your computer, how your car works. So why not treat your equipment the same?
Absolutely.
I mean, so when you're talking about like a binocular like this, like the Byno X, there's a lot of features, and it's going to take you some time to actually learn. so
but
do
once
yourself
you learn
a
it,
favor.
you're going to have a lot of fun with them.
Right. And that's, you're opening. It's like opening a box of fun, people. You've got to understand your optics and what you're getting into. But I don't know how to describe them. I mean, we're at the ATN show. There's a lot of buzz about it, but I still go back to the price point of thermal. Thermal for me was an unachievable thing.
Right.
I mean, it would take me months and months and months to save for thermal, and it's absolutely 100% worth it. And you guys are offering guys like me a chance to enter that market, which is at $1,200. Give me a break, like seriously. And Vote 2A scope to binocular commutation protocol. Not sure what that is.
Maybe he's asking about the ballistic calculator.
Maybe, yeah.
So the Thor LT doesn't have a ballistic calculator. It doesn't have video recording. It is a truly entry-level basic scope. You mount it, you zero it. We do have a one-shot zero in it, and you go shoot, you go hunt, and you don't have to think about recording or Wi-Fi streaming. This is really a basic scope for the person that doesn't want to deal or mess around with the features. So it doesn't have the patience, maybe also.
Right.
But even though it doesn't have all those features, it performs flawlessly. You guys took it to the ringer.
I'm still beating that thing up. I'm waiting for it to go down, but it's not. I mean, it continues. And the battery life, you can hunt all day with it, or all night.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the cool things about it was, you just plug it in charger, and I've got an extender to charge it in the truck.
Right.
So, if you're driving to your hunting location or something like that, it's easily charged. So,
and if you need some more juice, we have those buttstocks that you could put with battery packs.
Yep.
And
to extend the life.
Yeah, you can, I think it's like 30 hours with that battery pack that we have.
Really?
Yeah, so 20 from the battery pack, 10 in the scope, so about 30 hours you could run it continuously.
It's unbelievable stuff from ATN. This is my buddy Steve. You guys got to check out the Thor LT and the new Byno X from ATN. Thanks for joining Gun Talk Live. Brought to you by Palmetto State Armory.